Here's Brody Brazil.
Eric Thames, the San Jose native with the Oakland A's, finally getting this opportunity. 4 major league teams he's been with. Played in the Japanese Baseball League, the Korean Baseball League. He's been all over the place. In fact, last year, Yomiuri Giants, I believe. I think he played 1 game with them and then suffered an Achilles tendon injury that shut him down for basically the rest of 2021. Just the journey. Let me just, I briefly touched on the fact that he's a Bay Area product, so that is easily something to connect with. But the journey he's been on, if you look at his year-by-year log, this team, that team, overseas, back in the States, back overseas, now back with the Oakland A's. An Achilles tendon injury is severe. Let's hope for him that everything has healed and can go through 162 games and probably play some first base, some outfield. I threw in there at the bottom, maybe DH if that opportunity exists for the A's. If the bat really is what it is. And look at the bat, by the way. 96 homers in 605 major league games. Pan that out for just a second. 96, he's hitting a home run every 6th game. It's a lot of dingers. I should have done this math earlier. I'm literally going to do this math on the spot. So what's 162 divided by 6? 27. So, here's a guy who can hit you. Let's round it up. Could he hit you 30 homers? Could he hit you 20 homers? Let's see what this season brings for Eric Thames. But part of a core group in the Oakland A's that is taking some chances. Now, Eric Thames is one of them. Stephen Vogt is the next one. Now, Thames, the Bay Area native, all right, there's some attachment there, but Stephen Vogt, an all-time fan favorite with Oakland. Dare I say a cult favorite? That may have negative connotations, but screw the stats, first off. I'm not even going to read you stats on Stephen Vogt from the last 2 years, 5 years, whatever. Intangibles don't show up on stats. And that's what this man is all about. Well, let me start off with this. His motivation. This is somebody who I've kept in touch with, especially over the last couple years. And after Atlanta won the World Series, I know he was on that team and then he was DFA'd, but he was still traveling. He got to experience last year winning a World Series, but he couldn't finish the year. He was injured, and all he wanted this past offseason, well, number one, he wanted the lockout to end, wanted the opportunity to play baseball, but number 2, he wanted the opportunity to play baseball. Not just the league playing, but he wanted to get one more crack at it. And I think even as recently as, a month ago, a couple weeks ago, I should say, maybe wasn't hearing offers that were at the major league level, or, there's a lot of people, myself included, that absolutely know this man is going to get into coaching or broadcasting when the playing is done. And maybe he was getting some coaching offers too, are you done? You ready to hang him up, Steve? Because we got a spot for you on our staff. But his motivation to just come back and get one more year, I won't share exactly what it was, but as soon as I found out this was happening, I texted him and I just said, hey, make this year count. You've worked hard to get this opportunity. Things fell into place for you in a spot like Oakland. Make it count. And his response was I will. So I know a lot of people have already said too, you got Sean Murphy, there's your number 1. There are some other catching prospects that you don't want to logjam the system. But I don't, honestly, do you want Stephen Vogt to be catching a ton? It's great that he can do that and will do that. Do you want him at first base a little bit more optimally? I don't know how that, I yet to know or see how that will play out. But I saw a lot of people instantly responding that, maybe Vogt and the catching situation wasn't optimal. But again, I want to rethink this. I'm not exactly sure that he's only shoehorned into that position. But wherever he is, I mean, did I get into this yet? No. Team leader. In a season like this, where the Oakland A's have so many questions, where the expectations have changed, where morale might take a huge hit, for certain guys even still that might get traded away, in addition to others that have already been traded away. And losing your friends, it's not fun on a baseball team or any job or opportunity where things are going well and then all of a sudden people that make it go well are not there anymore. You need somebody like Stephen Vogt who's going to be a glue inside that clubhouse. I just hope he can stay healthy. I know that even if he doesn't, he's going to be around, which is great. Like, this man, he's going to make the most out of this, which is the best. And I'm putting here last but not least, I wonder if him coming back to Oakland as a player in this year, I wonder if this does set up a next chapter for him. Like, if this is hypothetically it, if 2022 is the end of the road, come back and coach here next year. Well, selfishly, come back and broadcast here next year. I would not oppose that at all. I would love to have Voter flanking me on the right or the left, or the broadcast booth if we had to share them. But maybe this is a lead-in and a bridge to something next with the Oakland A's. Jed Lowrie, just again, a core here of three veterans between Thames, who's never been an Athletic before, Vogt, who obviously has, and now Jed Lowrie for the seventh time, I believe, is an Oakland A. Just somebody who found the fountain of youth. I go back to this story from last year. It was amazing. He played 9 games with the Mets between 2019 and 2020. Just was injured. Did literally next to nothing for the Metropolitans, and then comes back to the Oakland A's last year. Did he play like 120 games, 130 games, something like that? Reliable, hitting doubles, playing second base. Did go through some injuries at the end of last year, and I think saving him this year, like, I know he wants to play, and I know he wants pretty much probably the exact same role he had last year. Quite honestly, he earned it. But I also think there's something to keeping him sharp, but also like playing a lot, but also keeping him fresh so that Jed Lowrie doesn't wear down, so that, when your team still has it together in July and August, that you can be using him and not worry about, the injuries or him not being able to play second base. I think there was a time last year where he was only DHing for a long span before he had to stop the season. I think he just couldn't play. Whatever injuries he was dealing with just wouldn't let him play defensively second base. And all that's obviously been healed and worked out. But, he went from playing 9 games. Oh, sorry. It's right on the screen, dummy. He played 139 games. I almost shorted him by about 20 games. So he goes from 9 to 139 games with the A's last year. He's a known commodity. As I said before with Stephen Vogt, he's going to thrive in the role of team leader, happy to be here, chip on his shoulder, motivation, good clubhouse guy, leads by example. And I guess, again, the whole thing about second base, was fine last year. Looked fine defensively last year. Turned a bunch of double plays with Elvis, got some chemistry there already. Hitting all those doubles, but can we pace Jed Lowrie to be effective as he normally is, just over a longer span in 2022? So there you go. There's my little section on Eric Thames, Stephen Vogt, Jed Lowrie. These kind of taking the chances on these guys, and they're known commodities of the past. All I'm saying is I hope all three of them work out to a certain degree and blow the expectations away.